Hi everyone, my name is Ashique and this is sort of like my welcome video to my YouTube channel. Um, I'm a Bangladeshi-born Australian and I've spent most of my life in Australia. A little bit more about me. I am married, got married about 2 years ago, and I've actually got a little one on the way, which is pretty damn exciting. As well as that, um, I guess I can dabble on a bit about my career. So I've spent a few years working in finance right after graduating from uni, doing a Bachelor of Engineering in Commerce. And then after about 2 years in finance, I decided to do a massive change up with my career path. I thought that, or at least I thought at the time that a career focused in finance wasn't really for me. I was someone that was at the time very interested in construction. I thought I wanted to be involved with the really deeper sides of engineering, especially when it came to designing buildings. So I made the switch in 2019 to structural engineering. And over the last 5 years, I've been a structural engineer. So that's been pretty cool. And lastly, I'm someone that really loves getting deep into side projects. I've done things like drop shipping. I've started a online private label branded e-commerce store on Amazon in particular. I've tried to build a personal brand on sleep, which might sound a little bit weird, but yeah, it was something I tried out. And now I'm working on building out a newsletter and my interests with infrastructure, which is sort of where I'm getting to with this YouTube channel. So now I want to dabble a little bit into why I started my YouTube channel. A big part of the reason is to actually accelerate my personal development. For some reason, I really differentiate YouTube as a platform on social media to all the other platforms like Instagram and LinkedIn. And I think I do know the reason actually, so it's not really for some reason. But the reason is because I think when I see creators speak to the camera on YouTube, I think it requires a level of skill with public speaking, with speaking impromptu, with thinking about your words on the spot that I just don't feel happens as much with other forms of social media. And I think those skills are very hard to master. And those are generally skills that I am weak at, particularly when it comes to impromptu speaking. So I really want to use YouTube, as a platform to get better at impromptu speaking. Like thinking about, what to say on the spot, not feeling rushed to say whatever comes out of your mouth, and really just taking a moment to think before you speak. That's something I'm generally not very good at. I always tend to feel the pressure to talk really quick. So I do really hope that my time on YouTube can help me get better at that. I do have a few more things that I did want to mention. I've actually got my laptop here with some notes. The next thing was to overcome imposter syndrome. I think when I think about putting myself out there online, the first thoughts that tend to come to my mind is, like people are just going to think, like, who am I to even think that I can talk about stuff online? Like, surely, this guy doesn't know that much. Surely he's just a joke. Um, those kind of thoughts tend to come to me, and I really want to overcome those thoughts and just, have the confidence to say, screw it, I'll just put what I believe out there. And have a growth mindset and try to not be the correct person, but try to be the person who's trying to learn and grow. The next thing is that for me, a big part of my personal development goals is to tap into my potential. And I think, I've spent a whole bunch or a whole chunk of my life feeling like I haven't really tapped into that. And I think YouTube is another avenue for me to really tap into my potential and see what it is that I'm capable of. So that's something I'm really keen to do. And um, let's say something else that's very important is I see YouTube as an avenue to really share my excitement with others about what excites me. I just want to put content out there about stuff that excites me, like whether it's infrastructure, whether it's personal development. I think because YouTube is generally seen as a long form content platform, I know I can kind of dabble on and on and on in ways that wouldn't work on other platforms. So yeah, those are three reasons I am trying out YouTube. And when it comes to my YouTube channel, there are a few topics that I want to focus on. But up top is talking about infrastructure developments and what excites me about infrastructure. I love learning about new things. I love learning about how the world works. I love learning about massive infrastructure projects and how they affect our everyday lives, whether it comes to energy or massive public transport projects like Sydney Metro, or water infrastructure projects, or schools, hospitals. Um, I'm the kind of person that loves to get into the nitty gritty with my learning, and I'm confident that there is a relatively large audience of people that share very similar interests and excitements as me. So I really want to be able to create content to connect with that audience, and I want to create the kind of content that makes an audience feel like they're learning interesting things that they want to learn in a form that's easy for them to learn it. The next thing I want to get into with my channel is I think I've mentioned personal development. I'm really interested in how we as people can get to the next level with our spiritual, mental, emotional growth, um, how we can improve our soft skills, how we can improve the things that really matter and make us better people. Uh, and I think every person has their own journey with improving those skills. And I'd love to share more about my journey and how I've gone from a place where I definitely never ever felt confident speaking to a camera like this to a point where, okay, now I can kind of do it, but I still don't feel that confident at all. The next thing I'd like to talk about is career development and the kind of lessons I've learned throughout my 7 to 8 year career post grad, working in about two different industries, maybe transitioning into a third one day, who knows? Yeah, I'd love to dabble a little bit on that. And also, lastly, I'll jump onto the bandwagon that everyone else is and talk about AI. I think AI is a very exciting space. And I think a lot of people are generally quite panicked about it in the sense that it's moving so quick. Some people feel like they're falling behind. I too am one of those people. So I'd like to just have general conversations about AI and see if I can get some public conversations going with that too. So, what can you expect from my YouTube channel? I reckon up at the very top is you're going to get someone who is genuine, someone who is genuinely excited about the things that he talks about. When it comes to infrastructure, I find things exciting that most people, 99% of people, would find so boring. But I'm on a mission to make those boring things seem interesting and talk about them in a way that other people can find interesting. And I honestly don't care if other people find me a little bit cheesy or nerdy with the way I show my excitement about these conventionally boring things. My only goal is to be genuine and build an audience of people who are really keen to see the ideas I put out there and not the ideas that I'm trying to create to mesh well with what I think everyone will like, rather like what really resonates with me. So that's one that's important. So authenticity. Um, the next thing is I'd like to say consistency, but at this stage, I don't know how consistent I can be in terms of like once a week. I want to aim for about once a fortnight with a video, just because there's a few things that I'm trying to work on at the same time. But I know that growing this YouTube channel is important to me too. So yeah, I'll aim for consistency about once every 2 weeks. And then I would say, lastly, just genuine excitement and energy. Like I said, I am so keen to be that guy, that infrastructure guy that loves talking about cool, nerdy, interesting engineering projects that affect our everyday lives. So you want to get someone that's unapologetically, yeah, him when it comes to that sort of excitement. So if you're that kind of person, you found the right place. Anyways, thank you for watching my second ever YouTube video, and I do hope that you stick around and learn something cool from my channel. Bye.